I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. There you go. So
What's poppin', people? Them is Slidey McClaws and ho ho ho, or should I say, hello, hello, hello? Because we're with the Raptors legend announcer Jack Armstrong today because he's gonna drop a Christmas album. Hello and happy holidays. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Am I supposed to go? Hello, hello, hello. How did I do, Kwesi? All right.
That's
Actually, I'm sorry, Santa Claus. I apologize, Santa Claus.
That's a 12 out of 10, man. That's a 12 out of 10. You're the legend guy, man. So what
I don't know about that.
Oh, you are, for sure. Trust me. We've been watching you since the baby days. I was a little kid. I've been watching the Raptors, but today is about your music because you're dropping a Christmas album. You might even beat up Mariah Carey. So
I doubt that.
what made you even want to do music?
I love music. We were chatting before we started doing this. I'm a runner, like you, and I run every day and I listen to music. So I just it's kind of a great outlet. It's relaxing, it's joyous, it's fun, and from the time I was a kid, I always loved music. I've sung. I like singing. My family gets embarrassed sometimes, but when I travel with the Raptors, if we're out at a pub, if there's a jukebox or if they're having karaoke or if there's somebody playing the piano or whatever, I'm not bashful. I'll get up and sing. And I grew up. My parents are from Ireland, so you grow up in an Irish family. People have a few drinks and they have a sing along, and you're expected as a young kid to be able to sing a song. So I guess it was ingrained in me at a young age. So I'm not bashful. So why not? I love it. So Christmas is my favorite time of year. And I love singing Christmas carols, and I love the whole experience of it, the magic of it. And so over the years, I've sung Christmas carols on the air on the Raptor games, and one thing led to another. Here I am.
Here you are, man. Here you are. Now, I got two questions because you spoke about the running and music. So what type of music are you listening to when you run? Because a lot of people, sometimes they like, I know a lady and she listens to music like Meek Mill and like a lot of hard rap. And I'm like, you're bumping that when you run? But then me, I'm listening to like Lana Del Rey. I cannot lie when I run. So what do you listen to when you run?
Well, I'm a lot older than you, Kwesi. So I listen to what you would call, I don't know if it would be called classic rock or whatever. But I love like the Beatles, the Stones, Eric Clapton, the Eagles, Bruce Springsteen, the Doors, Bob Dylan, REM. A lot of, I guess I'm dating myself here, but, Elvis Presley, whatever. I love Frank Sinatra. But whatever happens to come on. But I wouldn't say I listen to a lot of current music when I run, but I listen to a lot of stuff with a beat, with energy. Hey, there ain't nothing like running to like the Eagles song, Take It Easy. I mean, it's just, anything with upbeat making you feel good.
That's amazing. Those are banger.
And Christmas carols, too.
Those are all banger people that you mentioned, though, especially Bob Dylan. My boss is going to love that.
Wow, I like it. Robert Zimmerman from Hibbing, Minnesota. Bob Dylan's his stage name, yeah.
Okay.
How about that?
That's
well,
hard.
your stage name is Santa Claus right now.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So then the fact that you made a Christmas album, I know that you do all the Irish caroling with each other, but you chose Christmas specifically for what reason?
I just think it's, the guys from Comedy Records approached me, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 years ago. And then the pandemic happened, and but they've heard me sing on the air Christmas carols, and they're like, this would be great. This would be a lot of fun. And I just feel like I know Christmas can be difficult for folks, but it's also a very joyous time of year, a magical time of year. So I think we've been through a lot the last few years. So I thought I'd do a project that has some fun to it and joy. It's funny, I mentioned the word joy. Probably my favorite group would be the Beatles, and the comedian James Corden one of the things that I really enjoyed recently was when he did carpool karaoke with Paul McCartney. They went back to Liverpool and they drove around where Paul McCartney and the Beatles obviously grew up. And to watch that, I mean, became actually very emotional for me, having loved the Beatles my whole life. The joy that both of them had just singing, and how music kind of brings that, joy out in you. So it's always brought that joy out in me, and the holidays have always brought that joy out in me. So what better combination?
Yeah, it's a perfect combination right there. It's funny that you brought up the carpool karaoke too, because I even remember one time the Migos were on it and they were singing "Sweet Caroline." And I was like, "Oh my God,
Sweet Caroline,
bum, bum, bum. And then they
good times never beats." Right? Neil
Yes,
Diamond's
exactly.
Neil Diamond's from Brooklyn, by the way. I don't know if you know that.
Pardon?
Neil Diamond, who wrote "Sweet Caroline," is from Brooklyn. So am I.
Where are you from?
Exactly.
Where you're from?
Hey,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay, that's crazy. So Kevin Durant needs to start playing that when he. Now let's talk about the album specifically. I have a few questions. How many hellos are we gonna hear?
How many hellos? I think there's like 2, maybe 3 in there somewhere. There's definitely 2. There might be 3, but there's definitely 2. And there's one bonjour, and I think there's a get that garbage out of here in there too, somewhere along the way. So, yeah, we have some fun with it. So I think, what is it? There's 12 songs, and then there's 2 where I narrate. Actually, 11 or 12 songs, and then there's 2 where I narrate. I do the "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," and "Yes, Virginia, There Is a Santa Claus," the famous letter from the 1800s. So, so it's a lot of fun.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I was gonna ask you about how many get that garbage out of here, but you said it already.
I think there's 1, maybe 2, but definitely 1.
That's proper. That's all the people want. You know what I'm saying? On top of the album. Now you said with all the proceeds they're going toward the MLSE Foundation and the Special Olympics.
Yeah.
That's a very great cause.
Yeah,
man.
but MLSE Foundation and Special Olympics Canada. So this for me is like a passion project. It's a fun, enjoyable thing, and and obviously this is the season of giving, right? And what better thing to do than to give it to 2 wonderful charities that do so much for people in our community and across Canada. So I'm honored and privileged to be part of it.
But we all appreciate it as well, man. It's
thank
when
you.
you make stuff and you give it to a good cause like that is, oh my gosh, I don't have any words. I don't have any words. It's actually a really good thing. Now, what do you want for Christmas?
What do I want for Christmas?
Yeah.
Number one, I hope the Raptors win a lot of games. That would be a great Christmas. I think more than anything else for me, seriously, I mean, for Christmas, just to have my family around and for people to be in good health and good spirits. I mean, those are the things that I want, and obviously from a mankind perspective, peace on earth, goodwill towards men. I mean, right? But to me, that makes a perfect Christmas and also a perfect Christmas here in Canada is just a little bit. We don't need a ton, but a little bit of snow, just a little bit, right? Because one of the songs I sing on the album is White Christmas. And actually, the first time I ever sang White Christmas, I think I was in the 4th grade growing up in Brooklyn, and they had me sing in front of the whole school at St. Brendan's School in Brooklyn. So I sang the song, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. There you go. So, how about it? Just like the ones I used to know. How about that, Santa Claus?
Yo, that was a 12 out of 10. If you played Rock Band, I know you're getting 100% expert mode. That was hard, bro. What? You might need to sing the anthem for games.
I've never been asked. And believe me, when we play on the road, there are a lot of times where the version of "O Canada," we had a game like a week ago in Texas. I think we were in San Antonio, where they totally botched the Canadian anthem. And actually, after the anthem, I walked over to Chris Boucher and Ken Birch, because I was standing right near them. They were just looking at me, rolling their eyes. And they were like, "Give me the mic, I'll do it," So Yeah, it would be an honor and a privilege at some point between now and the time I'm done to be able to stand and sing "O Canada." I feel like I'm an adopted Canadian, and people have been so welcoming and kind to me. So somewhere down the line, maybe I'll be asked to do it. Who knows?
I think this will be the video. Right? We're gonna tag all the people.
Oh, Canada! Right? I think I could do it.
You will body it, especially because Chris and Kem knew, and they're the Montreal demons.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I couldn't do it in French though. I could say bonjour, and but I'd have a hard time being able to do it in French. But could you sing it in French?
It's funny, when I was growing up for elementary school, they would mix it. There'd be the beginning would be in English, and then the French would be. Sorry, my French teacher in grade 4. I butchered that right there. You know what I'm saying? All I remember was "Est-ce que je peux aller à toi s'il vous plaît?" But they added both. So the middle was French, the beginning and the end were English.
Yeah, I couldn't do any of that. I mean, I'd have to do it all English, but I could get that garbage out of here and bonjour somewhere, but we wouldn't do it in an anthem.
Ooh, that's hard. Now, what was the best and worst gift you received on Christmas? Or just say the best.
I loved as a kid, they used to have like Monday Night Football. They used to have these magnets, and you'd be able to move the players around. Now you got video games. Back then, you'd put these magnets, and you'd move players around and play football. Rock'em Sock'em Robots. You probably don't remember. I'm really dating myself. Do you remember that? And
The red and the blue?
Exactly. So that Battleship, that was always pretty cool. I can remember a few of those. And Perfection. Have you ever done that? You have to put all these different figures into a puzzle basically before the time goes off. So it's so those would be a few things. But definitely those are great. I don't think I've ever had a bad Christmas gift. I mean, when someone's nice enough to think of you and give you something, whether it be a card or a bottle of wine, a cold beer, those are actually, at this stage of life, the best gifts.
I like cold beers too, and I like wine too. So, damn, I guess.
Well, the last time I said no to that question, I didn't understand the question. So you say, Jack, would you like another beer? I go, yeah. I'm not saying no to that.
That's facts. Would it be an MGD though?
Yeah, I'd be happy to have an MGD. I'd be happy to have whatever you put in front of me, as long as it's cold. Warm, it's a quiet taste, but ice cold, I'm good with. Is that okay, Santa Claus?
Yes.
But I know you like, when I was a kid, and even when my boys were little, we would always leave the cookies, carrots for the reindeer, and then a cup of warm tea or coffee for Santa Claus, so when he came down the chimney. So you like a little, so obviously when you're doing your rounds and delivering toys all across Canada, your kids are leaving all that for you. Anything special in your coffee or tea that you want them to put inside the coffee or tea?
It's funny because I take my coffee black, so whenever they put something in it, I get cheesed a little bit. But
Okay.
all I need is a black coffee. So I'll go a few chocolate chip cookies. They have to be homemade, though. If you
Homemade,
if
okay.
you buy them from somewhere, I'm going to notice.
Okay.
And yeah, 1-2 beer to sip.
Because it gets cold up there on the sleigh, so I like that. Warms you up a little bit.
Exactly, facts. Now, people probably want to know if there are any Raptors, Nick Nurse, Matt Devlin, or any of those guys on the album, or is it just solely just you?
It's just me. Now Matt is going to introduce me, by the way, at the concert on December 6th, because Matt has been with me enough times on the road over the years where he's heard me belt down a two a knot or so. So he's been just laughing every day that, like, I said, Matt, I want you to introduce me. He goes, okay. He says, I've witnessed you enough times sing, so he's going to, but no, in terms of the album, no, I went in, I had 2 days of rehearsal, and then we had 2 days where we cut the album. So I can't believe it happened. It's a really cool, it's been a cool experience. And you're around it, this is what you do for a living. I mean, I'm in sports, and whether I was a coach in my previous life and now in broadcasting, but I've always, since I was 7 years old, I had a love affair with the orange ball. I can't thank the orange ball enough for what it's done for me. Growing up playing and coaching and now broadcasting, and to be around musicians, they have that same love affair, with music, with musical instruments, and with song and dance. And I always find it exhilarating when I spend time with people in the music industry, because they have, a lot of times they have such a fascination with sports, and I have such a fascination with music. And now to actually be on the inside and do an album and to spend time with musicians who really understand the ins and outs of what goes into a song and lyrics, and more importantly, being able to read music. And I can't play in it. I don't play any musical instruments. So it was fascinating, and they love it. And they have such a love affair and joy that music brings them. And I feel that way as well. So it's been a really fun experience and a cool experience.
That's probably one of the best things to hear, man. Just knowing that, like, these musicians, they put so much passion, and you seeing it from the other side and you loving it. So that means next year we're gonna see a Christmas album part 2.
Well, then I might have to get some people to collaborate with me on that. Like Frank Sinatra did the duets albums where he had other famous people. So I'd have to get some people that have game, like yourself, with a great voice. Okay, maybe not. We'll get somebody. But no, to me, there is a distinct passion that you see. You go to a concert and you see people perform. They love it. Once they get in the moment, it's like for me when I do a basketball game, when that red light comes on, game on. It's the same thing for an athlete. Ball goes up, or the kickoff, or the puck gets dropped, or it's the first pitch of the game, whatever it may be, it's game on. And when I watch people perform and the energy that they bring, I'll never forget being at a concert when I was pretty young, and I saw Bruce Springsteen in concert. And that guy does like 3-hour concerts. He's remarkable, the intensity that he brings. I saw the Rolling Stones a few years ago. I mean, Mick Jagger's close to 80. I don't know how you do that. To see a Drake perform, the energy that they bring, and the passion that they have, and the physical workout they put themselves through on a nightly basis, that's a lot. And when they do these shows, these tours where they're doing a ton of shows, I don't know how you physically do that every night. It's remarkable to me.
Yes,
inspiring.
Yes, it's honestly inspiring, because even when you were bringing that up, I was thinking of when you were saying how they had to go from show to show to show. There's an artist, his name is Post Malone.
Yeah,
and
I've
he
heard
was
of him. Yeah.
So he performed in Toronto, but a few days before that, he actually fell and injured his ribs, but he still came to perform. It's like, that's the passion these guys really have.
And the show goes on. It's show business. And I see it with our great players in the NBA. I mean, we're playing 82 games, and there's a lot of nights, most nights, that you're not 100%. You're banged up. The weather outside stinks. Your travel didn't work out. You're tired. There's an issue with your family. Whatever it may be. There's so many things swirling around that how many times do you really have the ideal situation to perform? A lot of times you got to work through problems and work through challenges. And yet, when the ball goes up or when the music starts playing, the show goes on, right? And that's the great thing about tremendous performers when you watch them. And I'm not putting myself in that category. I just marvel at it, to have a courtside seat to watch the greatest 450 guys in the world play, or to go to a concert and watch an elite performer or comedian or whatever it may be, and you're like, wow, and this might not be their best day, because they might have had a lousy day, But man, when they got there and they said, hey, I'm performing, I'm bringing my A game, they bring it.
See, I hope a lot of people watch that part of what you just said, so they show more appreciation to these NBA players, because a lot of people, they have fantasy teams, right? And then when the players are out, obviously the players want to play to get in the court, but then sometimes fans get a little bit, they only think about themselves sometimes. Have you ever heard about that?
I hear it all the time. And I take offense to it because the players in the NBA are the best in the world. And these guys have a ton of pride, and they put it out there every night. And, you lace them up. There's no excuses. And you're right. I mean, there are nights you watch someone play, and they're not 100%, but they're gutting through it because of the love of the game and the respect that they have for their teammates, and they're not going to cheat the game. But they're human beings. They're not robots. So someone might have a game where they score 30 points one night, and maybe they'll have an off night. That happens. We're human. And to me, I just think so many people don't understand what that is. And it's very easy to take shots. There's a great poem, The Man in the Arena. I'm not sure if you've ever seen it. It's wonderful. And the credit belongs to the man in the arena, whose face is just you basically you're in the arena, and it's very easy to watch someone and say, well, they succeeded, they failed, and there's a lot of people who've done neither, that sit on the sideline as a spectator. There's a big difference between being a creator of circumstance and a creature of it, right? And the creator is the person that puts themselves out there and might fail, many times fails. The creature, it's very easy. You just watch the parade go by, but you never lead the parade. And so I think an athlete, a performer, whoever they are, they put themselves out there. And many times they fail. But you know what? You'd rather fail than sit on the sideline and not try. So I think that's the great thing about sports.
Yes.
Hope I'm making sense.
No, you're making it's funny because I talk about this with the VJs all the time, everything that you just said, and everything that you just said about sports, it can literally just flip and go over with the same way with music, right? Because when an artist drops a song or when an artist drops an album and then people hate on it, and it's like they don't understand how much work these guys put in, and at the end of the day, they're the creators too. It's all the creatures are the ones that are hating on them, and they don't like whatever this person is, but they don't even understand what that person goes through, what they have to deal with every day as well. Like look at Drake. A lot of people hate on him.
Yeah,
I think that guy's amazing.
I think he's amazing, and he's a wonderful guy, and I've gotten to know him because he's a huge Raptors fan, and he has such a love and a passion for the Raptors. And but you know what? That's what I respect. That you put yourself out there, and you create, and you take chances. Because the last time I checked, this ain't no dress rehearsal, right? We get one chance. So you might as well live your best life. You might as well put yourself out there and have fun with it. So I have no idea whether this album will be great or whether it'll be lousy. I don't know whether the concert will be great or it'll be lousy. I have no idea. But you know what? I'm going to try my tail off. And I gave it everything I had when I did the album. I'll give it everything I got when I do the concert. And let the chips fall where they may. But you know what? I'll look at myself in the mirror when it's all said and done and said, you know what? I put myself out there, and I'm so thrilled I did it. And because again, you don't get another chance, right? So why not?
Why not, man? And that was amazing. The fact that you're doing it means you're amazing. You're putting yourself out there. You want to see how it goes. And who cares if it doesn't do well? But I'm going to tell you one thing.
Oh, it's going to do well. It's going to do well because people have joy in their hearts. And for me, it's all about the fact that the proceeds are going to the MLSE Foundation and to Special Olympics Canada. So to me, that is kind of how... That's how I tie into it, is that there's good karma there. And by the way, we're going to have vinyl too. We're going to not only What do you do? Upload, drop, download? What do you do? Drop it on Spotify? I don't know how you do all that. So, I don't know. People can put it on their phone or whatever, but we got vinyl as well. So for you traditionalists, we got some vinyl going.
That's hard. But another reason why it's going to do well is because of you, man. You're a joyful person. You got a joyful spirit. You have a warm, genuine heart, and people see that, man. We all love you in Canada. We all love you. The whole world loves you, man. The whole world
Well,
knows
thank you.
you. So we're all going to be tapping into this album when it drops November 18th, Comedy Records. Hello and happy holidays. And he's also performing December 6th
Yep.
at the Danforth Music Hall. Make sure to cop your tickets. My name is Slidey McClaws, and I'm here with...
Hello, Jack Armstrong, and I'm with the big man himself, Santa Claus, hanging out. Basically, it's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure, man. Much love.